And coming to you live here from Alofaga Blowholes, natural site with blowholes created by seawater rushing into tubes and shooting out of the lava rocks here in Samoa. We are already, I think? Yes, already in the new year here. Or are we? No, I'm reading that. Anyway, regardless, we are here with the return of the most coveted CranKy Ducklings event in 3 years. It has been 3 years since we last had one of these, but here we go. Duckling Showdown has returned, our annual but hiatus for 3 years, annual series of show matches here to just round off end of the year. I'm, of course, host Yaku of the Zaku, and with me today is El que nunca llega tarde gracias a unos patines de calidad, Light _VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yago? Good to reach you back once again. It's been far too long, Pappy, since we casted together. You know, there were rumors that that someone was sick, that someone was under the weather. I know you are here to dispel those rumors, because clearly that is not true. You know, you never get sick.
Yeah, somebody was sick. It wasn't me.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, who was it?
Yeah, no.
Regardless, it's great to be back once again. As you mentioned, with an end-of-year celebration here. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone in the chat. We are hours away from New Year's Day. We're almost there, and ideally we're able to celebrate New Year's together here on stream.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy some fireworks together.
Exactly. exactly. We're here for those fireworks. We have our first matchup of the night. For those that are curious, !B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the matchups yourselves here tonight, as we do have 3 best of 5s. 3 best of 5s. We have 1 for each region, 1 to celebrate different aspects of the CranKy Ducklings. Up first, we have a Korean matchup here, some Korean on Korean action, if you will, but also in StarCraft Evolution.
Indeed, that was a huge development in 2024, StarCraft Evolution in general, and I'm glad that we were there to take part and witness the inaugural StarCraft Evolution League. And so we're going to commemorate it, going to celebrate it once again here in Duckling Showdown.
Exactly, and here we go. We're jumping into our first series of the night, our first game of the night, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Hyper 1. It is 3point.
And starting over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right, we of course have our red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea as well. Also, funnily enough, representing Team Hyper 1. He is the eldest child of Hyper 1 himself, repping the StarCraft 2 Terran. He is Honorable HonMonO.
That's the most honorable of honorables, as we have 3point coming in here with what looks to be a hatch block opener here. And also, as we get into game number 1, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets while you can on who you think will claim this series.
Indeed, it's best of 5. As a reminder to myself, as I had that best of 3 for a while. Muscle memory kind of took over.
Yeah, all good.
It's been a while since I sat in the I almost said replay. Since I sat in the observer chair like this, so I have to remind myself once again of what the length of the matchup is going to be.
Exactly. It's all good. Take my hand. We can embrace this matchup together here. Meanwhile, with the proxy hatchery across the map, HonMonO, he does spot it ahead of time. Thankfully, the boys are being pulled. A big reaction by HonMonO. I mean, I say he scouted ahead of time before it finishes, yes, but I mean, that's a lot of progression on the hatchery.
Yeah. Would you consider this to be an overreaction, Light? That's a lot of SCVs.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that is a lot of SCVs and the spawning pool isn't even done. It was hatch first. It was hatch first here at a 3-point. He wasn't going for an earlier pool, so does force a big reaction here. The hatchery will go down, but that is a lot of damage, a lot of economic damage dealt to HonMonO inadvertently.
Absolutely is. Only 4 workers are mining minerals right now. The drones are being built. They can remake the hatch. Okay, not quite.
Yeah, gonna be going for with a sunken colony rush. Here we go. They are gonna be on the way. There's enough creep for one. There's gonna be enough creep for a second one as well. The boys have to be pulled once again.
And the sunken colony is unfortunately not gonna be enough to start attacking. It's not quite like the spine crawler. You do need to upgrade it into a... Wait, I said sunken colony. It's the creep colony initially that you have to upgrade to the sunken colony. There we go.
Exactly, exactly. The first one gets denied. The second one going to be denied just barely as well. I say that. It looks like maybe one SCV killed.
Oh!
Oh, God.
The bunker was not quite in range, but thankfully the SCVs were able to finish it off. Only one SCV going down in the end, but yeah, once again, quite a lot of lost mining time here for HonMonO, but considering the fact that he is playing StarCraft 2 Terran and he has access to mules, I think the 3-point ended up taking the coming out worse in that trade.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, quick moves here at HonMonO. He does salvage that bunker in the end. He gets up to the high ground. Cyclone production underway. Something we should emphasize, of course, as you just mentioned, is that HonMonO, of course, is playing SC2 Terran initially. Then it's going to be a 3-point rolling the Brood War instead. Back across the map, rushing to a fast lair. But again, this is a little bit more required early on here in this matchup, as I would imagine 3-point wants to go into laying a Hydra production. Or actually, never mind. Sorry, I just remembered. I mean, it's been a while since I've casted as well. Remember, Hydra Tech is Hatch Tech. He may be looking to rush into something like Mutas.
Yeah, they're slightly slower but beefier Mutas. If I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I remember this town though.
True. You got the Lings knocking down those rocks. We have the gases on the way as we speak. And again, based on all these gases, based on the lair timing as well, we are assuming this is going to be a Spire, but we'll keep an eye on our Zerg player here. Meanwhile, HonMonO likewise gearing up, getting his natural, getting a 3rd CC up and running as well. I'm going to be opening up with what looks to be a Cyclone drop into, I would imagine, some mech.
Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled. You know, these are the updated Cyclones.
It's the new old Cyclones.
Are a little bit more effective. Yeah. Updated, backdated, question mark, reverted.
Yeah.
Terminology, technology.
Yeah. The devolved.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna ape it up.
We are. Second factory's on the way. So it is gonna be mech here at a HonMonO as he does move out, scans the main base. Ooh, does see the lair. That is a bit of a tell as to what's going on, but the Spire is hidden behind the natural.
Yeah, I mean, what could it... Your options are a little bit limited, right? When you're going for lair here, or rather, you can deduce pretty easily what your Zerg opponent's going for when they go for a lair. When they're playing Brood War,
True.
Brood War Zerg.
Yeah.
Or to SC2, where it's like, it could be a Hydra Den, it could be a Spire. In Brood War, I mean, it's not gonna be a, what's it called? A Devourer's Den? Something like that.
Mound? Yeah.
Very Mound? Something like that, yeah. It no longer looks like a Roachworn.
True.
Gotta give him credit for that.
That's our fault.
You're welcome.
Oh, no. Also, if you notice, the scan of the natural was really unfortunate. It was actually barely out of vision, and HonMonO did not see the Spire. Thankfully, though, he is going into magical accelerators, and I mean, Battle Mech, the new old Cyclone, is actually not too bad against Mutas whatsoever.
The new old, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
They are. Because they're not the previous Cyclone, the one before that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the one before that, but also this is a new time and patch. I never noticed how long the Brood War Ling tails are. And, I like to wag it.
They're happy.
Oh, they're scratching their face.
Yeah. There you go. I appreciate the idle animations that were made. Let's go. Happy boys.
You know, we have Mutalus flying into HonMonO's base. No missile turrets here, and Macfield not quite done yet, but yeah, we still have a couple of Cyclones, and that's enough to deter this.
So far, so good. They are going to zone this away. The mutas have not yet to achieve too much damage. Behind this, we have +1 air attack on the way. We have continued mute production, so it looks like it is going to be mass Ling muta here out of our Zerg player. Bearing in mind as well that, of course, Banelings are not going to be too much of a factor. I mean, you don't really want Banelings against mech anyway, but we'll see if threepoint can pull HonMonO apart. Taking a head-on fight is going to be a difficult task here for threepoint, but we'll see how much economic damage he can achieve as he actually wants to drive on top of the army.
Yeah, really banking a lot on his Mutalisk to be able to tank a couple of shots. He's flying into missile turret range as well. These are Brute War Mutalisks, so they are a little bit beefier, but at the cost of being a lot slower. You can't really do hit and runs like you can with StarCraft 2. All in all, though, much better trade here for threepoint. I was doubting him. I really thought those Cyclones were going to get the best of him, but it looks like there were enough Lings on the ground to act as a buffer.
Yeah, that was actually...
will get a much better trade.
Yeah, that was a really interesting fight here from threepoint. As you mentioned, he was trying to bait out the lock-ons with the Lings to try to make the Cyclones that much weaker here defensively. Meanwhile, he's going for the... Ooh, he's going for the base. The base will survive. Muta's going to be going down, and HonMonO, he does hold.
Just barely keeps that third alive with the skin of his teeth.
Does keep it alive. Behind this, going to be going to mass Cyclone Widowmine. Less Hellions. Blue Flame is going to be on the way, and a threepoint is going to have to back off behind this, joining up, saturating his bases. Still committed to purely Ling Muta. The Mutas, they do come back in,
and it will wreak a little bit of havoc. Cyclones, man, they zoom.
They do. There's still a low amount of Cyclones though, and again, the lock-ons are limited here for HonMonO, so because that threepoint, he does want to try to take advantage of that and try to even catch out the Cyclones and stop them from massing too high, if at all possible. Meanwhile, HonMonO, he's gambling a little bit more instead with these traps, with these minefields that he's setting up here. There's a lot of Widow Mines that are bunching up, hoping to catch out those mutas.
Yeah, just waiting patiently. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, I say the other side, but yeah, threepoint still sticking around over here, still trying to delay this third for as long as possible. Gets it burning down. Will he kill it? Will he kill it? It looks like he will not.
Oh my god, he does not get it. Meanwhile, that was what, like 5-6 meters going down for it as well. He committed quite hard. That was not worth it for 3 points.
Not at all. Very painful loss here for threepoint. Meanwhile, he's a little bit late when it comes to his transition out of this, so yeah, eventually you want to be trading out some of these mutas, but not before you get to your hive, as threepoint only now starts it.
Yeah, just now starting the hive. Also, if you remember Shift B will show you the battle reports. That was 7 meters going down for no value whatsoever, or I guess just for repaired resource costs. But we do have now a bit of a continuation or a bit of addition to the main army. That is the Queen. The Queen nest is now done. The hive is on the way, but the hive not fully required here for those queens. And with those queens, he now can ensnare. He has his own version of Fungal, if you will.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I wonder why they renamed it.
Yeah, so it's there here on the Cyclones.
Yeah, get right on top of things. The Lings as well, not only going to be surrounding Cyclones, but also dragging a little bit of friendly fire from those mines. A lot of missile turrets that threepoint has to be worried about, but the ground army, there's barely anything left of it. These Lings are bullying these Cyclones all the way back where they came from.
Exactly, they bully them back into the main. The mutas, they dive into the main base as well. Barely any Cyclones remaining. Oh, the mine shots! Oh my god.
That threepoint is aware of them. He has to be so careful. Loses the queens. Yeah, loses the queens, but the Mutalisk will survive for the time being. Ultra Cavern on the way. I like this. And that's not a Roach Warren, right?
Oh my god, as the mine shots, they pop off. Not quite a Roach Warren. We should have the Defiler Mound on the way, but looks like still shares the sprites in the production tab. So, oh, actually, never mind.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Maybe it wasn't updated on Korea.
That, yeah, that's the only explanation. What's going on, guys?
Yeah. Things are going to be going down here at the natural base. So do have Blackquest threepoint going for Link Floods, but the mine shots, they're brutal here, and HonMonO, he's holding.
Yeah, but just barely. He's taking damage with every single hold. He is, at the very least, able to keep his core army units alive, so
Mhm.
that's gonna ideally stack up for him as time goes on, but yeah, for now he is being beaten back. He is, the 3-point I should say, is the one taking control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he still has the map control, right? Like, he still does keep HonMonO pinned back defensively instead. Meanwhile, going for a link drop into the main base. Likewise, the final mutas finally go down. 0 mutas left here on the map. Instead, as you mentioned before, it is going to be Ling Ultra as a transition for 3-point.
Which, you know, against Cyclones, you know, maybe Cyclones can kite back, but yeah, I'm not liking this too much for HonMonO, especially after losing this many SCVs this quickly. He's been on 3 bases for the vast majority of the game, by the way.
Oof.
So already insanely behind.
Yeah, and the Lings, they pop up, they get 37 SCVs, by the way, and we do see HonMonO going for a massive counterattack, but the Defilers are here. The Ultras have arrived. Where are the ensnares? Up.
A couple of them are landing. Honestly, I do like HonMonO's army a lot, but yeah, with these ensnares, with the crowd control, it really does look like 3-point is just going to chase us all the way back, unless he eats mine shots to the face.
The mine shots are brutal. The mine shots, they pop up. They don't care about your Dark Swarm as the Dark Swarms get thrown down. Alas, the mine shots, they shut down the Ultras. The Ultras, they will crumble. And HonMonO, he may be down in SCVs, but he has a massive army.
Yeah, a massive, beefy army that was able to kite and was able to survive all those mines. It's been so long since we've seen mines kill Ultras, but HonMonO proving that it is possible. Helmet's going to be transforming, and I mean, there's just way too much momentum on HonMonO's side. Every single unit that pops out right now for 3-point is just going to walk into a wave of death.
Exactly. I mean, HonMonO, he's all in, right? Like, he's all in. It's here or it's now or never here for HonMonO. He breaks through the Ultras. He gets into the middle line. The Queens, they pop out, but they need time for energy. They're not quite ready for this, and HonMonO, he has to keep going. He has to go for the kill. Oh, the Plague.
The technology wasn't there yet. The Queens, they weren't able to learn from Vipers. They can't suck the youth juice.
Oh, they can't suck things down, but the Plague was brutal. Mine Shot's going to be going up, trying to force some friendly fire, and it looks like we're running out of steam here. We get the ensnare. Ooh, Mine Shot goes off, but we are running out of units. The final Cyclone goes down.
Yeah, important to note, while this is all going on, massive Ling run by on HonMonO's bases. Every single SCV goes down. It's 71 drones versus 6 SCVs. 3-point, gonna be taking that game right at the end, but oh boy, what a back and forth.
Whew, GG, well played. A very intense game. Number one, as you mentioned, very, very back and forth. There were moments for 3-point, moments for HonMonO. In the end, HonMonO was forced into the all-in. The lane drop into the main base caught him off guard. His economy was just eviscerated, but he had some very strong moments in that game as well. That was very close.
Incredibly close. I mean, you said at 3-point, he was in control for the vast majority of the game. The very fact that he was able to contain HonMonO on 3 bases for so long, I think just already made it extremely likely that he was going to clutch it out. But there was that one window of opportunity that HonMonO just really activated his final form. And yeah, just really, for a very brief second, I thought he was going to win. I didn't even notice that Ling's managed to sneak out and eviscerate HonMonO's economy and really force the all-in. What was already an all-in, he forced it to be even more in. And just like that, he held once more and managed to take the W. GG.
Oh, yeah.
Well, nicely done by 3-point.
Yeah, nicely done here. Nicely done by 3-point. And for those that are curious, the way the format works here in StarCraft Evolution, at least the way that we are doing it, and is typically done in most tournaments, HonMonO, because he did lose game 1, it is loser's race pick here. It is going to be loser's race pick, and HonMonO, he is going to be sticking with StarCraft 2.
Interesting. Well, I say interesting. I think, yeah, this is pretty common from our players. They do tend to be a lot more comfortable. They do tend to be a lot more used to StarCraft 2. Yeah, even the ones who haven't been pro players in quite a while, players like Kiwion, players like the STC, who retired quite a while ago, you would have thought that because SC Evolution buoyed their, or made them have a bit of a resurgence in interest, you would think that it's a Brute War aspect that got them in, and maybe it is, but they just don't really like playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I know 3-point...
Rather,
go on.
it's not so much that they don't like playing it, it's more that, you know, they're more confident with StarCraft 2.
Yeah, that is the case for a lot of players. I know the 3-point does often pick Brood War Zerg, I will say that at least. I know HonMonO is fond of it as well, at least the Brood War side of things, but I'm pretty sure he just wants to get a win with Cyclones. I think that's what he wants to get at least once at some point in this series, and we'll see if he can as we're getting into game number 2.
Indeed, we are. And over here in our bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in our bottom right, we of course have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea, currently up 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Once again, rocking the Brood War Zerg, playing in the blue trunks, representing Hyper 1. I can't read Hangul. This is Mandarin. I'd be all over it, but this is Hangul. But all you have to know is he is 3-point.
You're coping, Bobby, you're coping. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Sylphid, a 3-player spawn map, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, the Red Terran, rocking the SE2 race. Representing Hyper 1, it is HonMonO.
Also important to note, hasn't showered since last year.
True.
As he was telling us,
getting
into the game.
He did tell us he's a filthy Terran player and he has not showered for years.
Yeah. That's the source of his power.
Oh no, not like this.
Am I having a? Is this one of those things where it's? I vaguely remember when I was a kid, there was a comic strip that was like that. Like, there was a soccer player who just never showered, and he kept winning because nobody wanted to get near him. Nobody on the other team wanted to get near him.
No one wants to touch HonMonO.
So he won everything for his team.
Exactly. There you go.
I vaguely remember something like that.
He was foretold in the Singaporean comic strips. As we are going to be settling into game number 2 here, 3-point comes in with the Overlord Scout. As we did just mention, of course, it is a 3-player spawn map, so players initially have to determine where exactly their opponents have spawned in. Other important thing to take note of here is that HonMonO, he does skip the SCV Scout. On top of that, he skips the Reaper, and he's going for a 1-1-1 on one base.
And he's the one who's playing blind. He is the one who... Wait, the SCV Scout? No, he didn't SCV Scout.
Yeah, no SCV Scout. No Reaper.
No SCV Scout, taking a massive risk coming out over here. I was going to say, as a Zerg player, you are a little bit safer in this 3-player map, just because you can send your Overlords out, and you can just focus on what is going on back at home. As a Terran Protoss player, you don't really have you don't really have that safety, but HonMonO's really saying who needs safety when you're a disgusting and filthy Terran player going for a fusion core.
Let's go. So one base BC out of HonMonO. Now with his marine positioning, he does deny the scout from the Overlord. I believe the Overlord did dip in, did confirm that there was no CC. So because of that 3-point, he knows something's wrong. He knows that something is wrong, something is amiss. What exactly is going on? 3-point has yet to confirm. The medevac has arrived. With that, he has high ground vision, and I believe he should be trying to hunt down that Overlord. It does spot it, and he's going for it.
But no range. These are FC2 Marines. They don't have range upgrade.
True. No range upgrade. As there are links here to try and deter the army as well. Nice pickup micro here. HonMonO not losing a single Marine. Just shut this down. Back across the map, we do have a 3-point, just stabilizing your 2 bases, droning on up. Once again, rushing into the Spire, rushing into 2-base Muta.
Indeed. See. That's a second macro hatch.
Yeah.
You don't see that too often.
Let's go second macro hatch. Now, what's important about the Spire as well, I say 2-base Muta. These BCs can be threatening, but the Zerg player here now has access to Scourge.
True. Scourge, otherwise known as the Banelings of the Sky. They do they do instant damage, I should say. No damage over time or anything like that the minute they connect with an enemy.
Yeah.
You do need to bank up quite a bit of them to take out a BC, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So we'll see how this does turn out. Here we go. The first BC has arrived, but we have 3 spores in position. 3 spores over the natural. Likewise, you have 3 spores over the main base as well. And the BC is going to be zoned away as a result. Remember, there are no queens to defend.
Yeah, no queens. Could try to get some Hydras out, but what would be the point in that when you have access to Scourge? HonMonO could be trying to focus down Spire. I say that. Actually, a little bit focus elsewhere, so the BC does retarget to the Creep Tumor, not Creep Tumor, Spore Crawler briefly, but there we go. Spire finally goes down,
Oh
Scourges are out, will be able to take out the BC. I underestimated the power of the Scourge, actually.
Yeah.
I thought you would need a lot of them. I thought it would be like, you know, Banelings attacking a Thor, but
Nah.
no, you actually don't need that many Scourges to take out a BC.
Yeah, they shut it down. We have 9 left. I believe that was 5 Scourges. I think 14 were made in total, if I remember correctly. So not a bad start here for 3-point. Behind this, the Spire's being rebuilt. So 3-point is committing into Ling Muta. And he's hunting down the final BC. Oh, no! Oh, my God.
So we have confirmation. It is
That was 8.
6 Scourges to take out 1 BC.
Oh, wait. Yeah, 6. Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I think HonMonO is commenting on that, by the way. I think it's like, mate, BCs are useless. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. You know, we really are reverting back to the olden days.
True.
We got the old Cyclone, we got the stupid unit.
Oh. Exactly, and back at home, it's going to be a Spire into double Hydra Den. There we go, cancellation on the Spire, committing into Hydra instead. With that, looks like Hyper 1, 3-1, he has recognized, of course, that across the map that we don't need to deal with BCs anymore. He saw the add-on swap, so with that, is avoiding any additional Scourge play.
Yeah. It's already scared HonMonO. Already scared HonMonO into landing, into staying on the ground.
Yeah?
It's afraid of heights now.
Exactly.
Never going up in the air.
I mean, mate, if there was Scourge in the air, then I'd be afraid of heights too. Okay, I don't blame HonMonO. I don't blame him whatsoever. As once again, he's going to be getting into mech. He's going into mass Cyclone production. Meanwhile, Hydra production has begun. We see upgrades on the way. We can, of course, morph in the Lurker Den as well. That's going to be on the horizon. And a fast Queen Nest, fast Queen production.
Yeah, we have it. So we're going to get those fungals and snares.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. What is that other upgrade for the Hydra Light? I'm not too familiar with it.
That I believe is just range / attack speed and just movement speed as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, but you already have muscular augments for.
We're about to find out what it's called. So yeah, muscular augments,
yeah.
And we'll find out.
Yeah. It's like Roof Spines.
Yeah, true. I think it's like 20% attack speed or something like that. I think something like that. It's been a while.
Okay,
it's been a while.
Interesting. Yeah, no lunge.
No. There we go. Yeah, Groove Spines.
It's called Groove Spines.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just a different icon.
There you go.
A different icon because I imagine that the effects are a little bit different from StarCraft 2 Groove Spines.
Yeah, for sure. As the army has arrived, the queens are ready again for that, and Snare is hunting for the Cyclones. Up.
And he will get half of them, practically half of them. Oh, we'll lose all of his queens in the meanwhile, though. All 2 of them. I don't know if this is worth it for 3-point.
Yeah, I agree. Considering, like, sure, he killed a handful of Cyclones, but queens are quite expensive here. Now the queen count has been reset to 0. He will have to restart. We'll have to rebuild. Nice burrow here to keep those Hydras alive. Does, like, keep them hidden here on the right-hand side. And it looks like we are rushing into a hive, gaining access to Defilers.
Oh. I love to see him. Big fan of Defilers. You know, Defilers are like Chad Vipers. Vipers, they suck you juice. They leave you weakened. Defilers, they eat you.
Yeah?
In an instant.
There you go, as we do see HonMonO going to be forced back here by 3-point. Likewise, we do have a Hydras harassing across the map, trying to get in between the bases. So far, HonMonO, he's for the most part keeping up here. The mine shot soon to be going up. Oh.
Yeah, pop it off on top of these Hydralisks. We're trading back and forth. 13 Hydralisks going down for not that many Terran units. Once again, not sure if this is a favorable trade for 3-point, but then again, Hydras are a little bit cheaper in Brute War, so maybe it was.
Yeah, it is a bit of a cheaper army here for 3-point. Likewise, he has map control. He's getting up to 4 base saturation. Likewise, so is HonMonO. HonMonO is oversaturated. He is getting his 4th base up and running. So far, so good. He is actually maintaining himself and stabilizing quite well, despite losing all those BCs early on. HonMonO, he's very much so in this game, but getting caught a little bit out of position.
Yeah, forced to evacuate slightly, but yeah, thankfully he does keep most of his SCVs alive. All these Hydras going down, and we're not quite at the point where you really want to be trading your Hydras to get a different army.
Yeah, as you're saying, a lot of Hydras do fall, and we have yet to really embrace Lurker production. It's still Ling Queen Hydra, and the Hydra count is now falling behind here. HonMonO, he's building up towards a death bull of an army.
Yeah, I'm getting deja vu to game number 1.
Yeah, but this time no ultras.
But once again, no ultras. HonMonO has a much better economic position as well with 4 bases.
Yeah, exactly.
Hasn't been bullied into submission. That was a kill, not a cancel.
Yeah, the base goes down. We do see a big link counterattack here towards the expansion. Workers are going to be falling with the mine shots are there to defend. The Spinacle is in already.
Yeah, a couple of them do pop out now, but yeah, it's really few and far between. A couple of snares get thrown down, and the Hydras are here to clean up. A little bit of friendly fire from the Widow Mines, and 3-point will hold.
Yeah, 3-point, he holds on. He may have lost almost every single sunken colony, but he does defend against the army, shuts it down, going for a massive counterattack. He's going for the middle line, but there is a planetary in position. He will respect it.
Yeah, it's gotta respect it.
Does back off. He does.
Some production.
Yeah, does get himself the production, pushing in towards the natural. Instead, he avoids the planetary, going for the natural CC. Oh.
Right, just opting to take out SCVs. I'm gonna pull the boys, and he can afford to lose some. It's an alright trade for 3-point, but yeah, at the end of the day, HonMonO, he's still got mules.
He does. He still has mules. He will lose 15 SCVs, but HonMonO, he still has a pretty decent economy behind this. Again, because of the mules, I would say actually HonMonO has a better economy, slightly better here compared to the Zerg player. Meanwhile, he's going for a big counterattack. There's actually not much of them to defend because 3-point is going for a drop at the same time.
Yeah, he needs to try to just fend this off as best he can while he sneaks those overlords into the main base of HonMonO. A couple of snares are going to help out. But the mine shots, they're popping out left and right.
Yeah, the mine shots.
No links here to really drag the friendly fire.
Yeah, there's just not enough here. We have a couple more snares here being thrown down. Queens are going to be thrown away here. The Cyclones, they do focus on so many of the Queen. Oh my god, they shut down all 4 of them.
It's very expensive losses here. For 3-point, eventually he's going to be able to clean this up. Well, I say that, but those mines are still over there. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, though, he will be able to drop some of his army. I mean, one of his drop lords did get killed by the looks of things.
Yeah, exactly. Drop lord went down. Army gets cleaned up. HonMonO, he defends, but 3-point is rattling across the map instead. He's rattling out his links. His Hydras, Defilers have arrived. His reinforcements are getting caught out by some of these Widow Mines, but the detection has arrived, and the Widow Mine field finally gets cleaned up.
Like so, and I was gonna say this feels like a little bit of a role reversal from game number 1, but 3-point not feeling the pressure to go all in yet, and I suppose he shouldn't, as he, at the very least, is able to get 5 bases up and running. He still has a fairly healthy economy, so all he really needs to do right now, and I think he is aware of what he really needs to do right now, is to buy time, make sure he can continue to mine, and just get a better army.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, as you mentioned, unlike the previous game where HonMonO was forced into an all-in, even though HonMonO has been trading well against the army of 3-point, his economy has been left untouched for the most part. Like, he hasn't really been losing drones, he hasn't been really losing workers, so 3-point, he can maintain these losses, he can still keep up, he can still threaten the army of HonMonO, and now he has finally teched up into more spellcasters, right? Defilers have arrived.
So what worries me a little bit for 3-point is that he hasn't quite expanded yet, but I guess I can't really fault him for that. He is very focused on just trying to keep himself alive and trying to build an army that can beat back the the Cyclones of HonMonO.
Yeah, exactly. He's just trying to survive more than anything. We can see 3-point expands on the left-hand side. All the sunken colonies are not quite ready, but here we go. We do see 3-point trying to catch out the army. The ensnare does land, but the queens go down. The defiler. Oh,
Will go down before they can really land any of its spells. Huge mine shot going to be landing on those lings, and fortunately not a lot of friendly fire here for 3-point. He is weakening the He's weakening the Cyclone significantly though, and kind of baiting out those lock-ons as well.
I mean, the plague, there was one plague towards the end which did connect. You can still see the flashing red Cyclone from the plague as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to notice because the army's red. So, like,
yeah.
it's some red on red going on. But that was a nice plague that did go off. Meanwhile, more defilers are building up over time, and we'll see if we can land another plague. You can see 3-point trying to set up here for the engage, massing up more lings, more hydras. Ooh, as the liberator has arrived. Trading with the lings.
That was the anti-air. And trading with the lings. Once again, not really getting too many. Oof! Not really getting too many workers. That's a huge plague. Could be landing right in the heart of those. Right in the heart of those Cyclones. Couple of snares to really nail the combo. And the lings coming through to clean things up. Disastrous defeat here for HonMonO. Things are looking so good for him until that plague landed.
Exactly. Drop lords into the main base. Mass doom drop into the main, I should say. The main base is under fire. The production is under threat as well. 3-point is going for the kill. He's going for the 1-2 punch. Coming in from behind and coming in from the front as well.
I just realized HonMonO has no weapon upgrades.
Oh.
It's +3 plating and 0 weapon upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. No weapon upgrades here. I mean, that could have definitely helped out the course of this game. The expansion is going to go down. The planetary has fallen. Lings, more hydras ahead towards the bases, and HonMonO looks like he has finally been broken.
Jesus, man. He was holding so steady. This was absolutely an improvement compared to game number 1, but one false movement, one moment where he was focused on something else, his army got ripped to shreds, and 3-point, I mean, it looked dire for him, but now he's snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
Exactly. Again, 3-point's economy was for the most part maintained throughout the course of this game. Likewise, there was that brutal plague that we did mention. It was a setup with the borrowed defiler, if you recall, where he was able to land an insane plague, and the plague did just so much to the Cyclone army. The Cyclone army crumbled, and from there, we're looking to snowball out of control. GG is going to be called, and 3-point will take a 2-0 lead.
GG, beautifully done here from 3-point. I mean, we're talking a lot about that plague because, oh man, that was such a dramatic moment. But honestly, 3-point, it wasn't just that plague, right? It was the plague plus the doom drop. He planned that out and timed that out absolutely perfectly. It was like he had 4D vision. He was playing 4D chess, whilst HonMonO understandably was a little bit more focused on just trying to micro and control his army.
For sure. And I think that my favorite thing about this dynamic, and I think you noticed it yourself as well, is because the hydras are so much cheaper, because of that, you actually get so many more engagements, so many more trades. Like, compared to like typical SC2 fights, like we had like non-stop little skirmishes, like back and forth, throwing away Ling Hydra, throwing away Cyclones. For the most part, both players were maintaining they were quite even in supply throughout the majority of that game, just back and forth fights over and over again. And that's kind of a dynamic that you don't really see too often in SC2, just because certain units are much more expensive. Like, we even saw like so many like queens were thrown away, so many defilers were thrown away as well, but like that's what a lot of the economy was being spent on, and yeah, he could still maintain those fights and still have that back and forth.
Yeah, I think in TVZ specifically in SC2, it's, you see a couple of skirmishes in the early game. Maybe you'll see Lings versus Hellions, or a double drop versus whatever the Zerg army has, but it's not like they're gonna really engage properly, right? The first sign of trouble, those Marines are going back into the medevacs and boosted away. And for the most part, it's just both players building up for that one big timing. SC2 v Brute War, not so much. You do see a lot of, okay, I'm not quite at my apex, I'm not quite maxed out, or I'm not quite fully upgraded, but I still need to go because I have to apply some kind of pressure, and this is all I can really do.
Oh yeah, exactly, and because that was almost non-stop action here between threepoint and HonMonO. It was a blast in the end. Threepoint did overwhelm HonMonO, but again, I do feel like a lot of it did come down to, you're putting it out yourself, right? The non-stop doom drops. I mean, there were 2 big doom drops into the main base. Likewise, the catch with the queens with their ensnares, the plague as well. There were some key moments that did swing the fight and the game in his favor. But if it wasn't for those moments, we definitely could have seen like a comeback there and even a back and forth. And I want to believe that we will have more than just 3 games between these 2 players. I want to believe we can have a series.
As do I. But you know, if we have to only have 3 games, I'm glad that we at least are able to get 1 game on the best map in SC Evo. Well, loading into Monty Hall. We're over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, swatting all the way in. This bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player, our red Brood War Zerg player once again. Coming down from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Hyper 1 on match point. We have 3-point. That's what his name means.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the SC2 Terran player from South Korea representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. And as you're pointing out, welcome one and all to Monty Hall, a very unique map in the map pool. It's almost like a pseudo island map, as you are completely walled in with these mineral walls, and you have to pick and choose how you want to expand. The gold mineral patch only takes 1 worker to mine through, so you can very quickly mine through. This allows you to scout, and it also allows you to expand, but reinforcing these positions takes a little bit more time, as you have to break through and mine through those walls.
It's a gold mineral that is literally one mineral.
Exactly. Just
kind of defeats the purpose of being gold, but it kind of defeats what you think the purpose of being gold is. But in this case, it's more to kind of signal to the players, hey, this is what you want to mine to gain access to more bases.
Yeah, and it also still walls you in. Like, if your opponent wants to be aggressive, they need to bring a worker to mine through those patches to actually gain access to your base as well, so bear that in mind as well. We do see our players expanding. We can see 3-point taking the northern base, and we see HonMonO taking the southern base here, so both players have opted to expand in opposite directions. Again, it's one of those things where neither player really knows where the expansions have been taken until they scout.
Expanding towards each other. Not super aggressively, neither of them taking the middle base, but yeah.
Yeah, no center expansion. We can see the Overlord Scout coming in. Meanwhile, HonMonO, he's rushing into a Ghost Academy. He's crazy.
Oh, these are SC2 ghosts, though. So
yeah.
they're not as good.
True. No lockdown. That's the downside here of casting a lot of SC2 Terran, is that we're missing the lockdown button. The lockdown.
Yeah.
And ironically, I do miss it.
If you're wondering what the lockdown is, it's like Interference Matrix, but way better.
Oh yeah, it's insane. But the Overlord comes in for a scout, gets eyes on the 1-1 setup, and may even spot the ghost as it pops out.
Yeah, we'll see. HonMonO actually directly rallied towards that Overlord.
Oof.
Now it's going to be attempting to snipe it.
Can he get it?
Vision of the rack. Gonna try two more volleys, 2 more hits.
Oof.
There we go.
There we go. The Overlord does go down. The Ghost has arrived. Just the one Ghost for the time being, as he did have to lift the racks to actually hunt down the Overlord. We have a 3rd CC behind this, so no crazy 2-base all in. HonMonO, he is expanding. He is going to be macroing behind this. Meanwhile, we do see 3-point rushing into that lair. We've seen time and time again 3-point going into Muta play or going into Spire play early on. And on a pseudo island map like this, I feel like Mutas can do quite well.
Yeah, you're not quite going to be able to flood Lings in through that singular gap, but thankfully Mutas, they just go over it.
Yeah. They just go over those walls, and they can dip in between the bases. The layer is now done, and we'll see what the takeoff choice is going to be here. Meanwhile, we can see 3-point just expanding elsewhere, taking more bases. Rushing into a Queen's Nest. That I was not expecting.
Okay.
Okay.
Fungal the workers.
I guess. I mean, bearing in mind something as well that we didn't bring it up as we didn't really need to. Ensnare does no damage. Like Ensnare does, it locks down, it slows the army.
No,
that's
but it
true,
slows down the mining.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, we're going for a proxy hatch. What?
Monty Hall. This is why I love this map.
Let's go. We have the 5-minute proxy hatch so we can mine through and break through these minerals. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. Okay. Sure.
Let's go. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're going Ghost Smack? That's an armory.
Big scan here. I mean, the queen does give access to the hive, so we do have the hive being morphed in real quick here to rush into defilers, I would imagine. I mean, I'm still not fully convinced as to I know where this is kind of headed here. Hydra Den is going to be on the way as well, so it's going to be a Ling Hydra based composition.
Plague and Snare combo. That seems to be the case here. Lurkers now being researched, which is a good call for Monty Hall. We were just talking about how narrow a lot of these choke points can be. So especially if you're HonMonO right now and you really want to keep yourself safe while you go for your hive tech, lurkers are the way to go.
HonMonO, he's like, let me at him, let me at him. He's barely, he can't
open the gates.
Yeah, exactly. He can't quite reach the base. Based on what we're seeing here, by the way, it looks like threepoint is completely turtling up. We have spine crawlers being thrown down in all these bases, rushing into lurker tech, and headed into Nidus play to connect all his bases. Like, threepoint is just being as greedy as possible, getting every single tech structure he needs.
Do you think HonMonO knows you to find out?
Yeah, he's fine. He knows. It's okay. It's okay.
Because those waddling a little while.
It did take some time. You're not wrong. It did take some time, but he does drop over the wall. Behind this, again, rushing into additional ghost production, so he's just going mass ghost early on. Likewise, he has kind of a mech supportive army as well. The expansion is going to go down. Meanwhile, we do see a massive Ling flood here threatening the left-hand side, but we do see a full wall here as well. And again, as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure we are just fully going to be turtling up here. I say that we do have some Nidus play that's available. And the Nidus did finish, actually. I forget, it makes no noise.
Yeah, a couple of lurkers already popping. Oh, it makes no noise.
Yeah. They're silent.
Terrifying.
they're silent killers, Pappy. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let's go.
Could be used on these creep colonies, and again, they can't lift. That's the other downside to sunken colonies compared to spine crawlers. Massive Ling run by, though.
Yeah, the armor comes in. Oh my god, it does one-shot all the sunken colonies, takes down a lurker as well. So very nice nuke here out of HonMonO. At the same time, he defends on the left-hand side. He does secure himself, and a threepoint will have to retreat. Does back off from here, just focusing on droning, saturating his bases. Still not at full 4-base saturation, but he's building up his army.
Yeah, slowly but surely. And HonMonO hasn't been able to do anything to slow him down.
As the Nidus is getting called out, he is going to be cleaned up. And from here, we're just going to be getting into a longer, later game.
Which I can appreciate, specifically because that gives us an opportunity to get some defilers out.
Yeah. Defilers on the way, lurkers, they do get caught out. Nice catch here by HonMonO, expanding, taking a third base. Is going to be expanding it once again towards his opponent. And we'll even catch a couple more lurkers.
Yeah, good snipes coming out from these ghosts.
Does shut them down in the end. Likewise, what's important as well is that because HonMonO didn't mine through those patches, these moves here, like these Ling run-bys, actually can't get into the main.
Yeah, there's only one entry point right now for into HonMonO's bases, and it happens to be the ones that has all of the army.
Yeah, exactly. So again, HonMonO making full use of the advantages of this map, or the features of the map. He does move out, so Snipe's going to be going up. He does shut down the lurkers. They have less range.
Like so. They do have less range and no range upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. Less range than SC2 lurkers. The army's going to be pushing, going mass ghost. Essentially, we do see the defilers, though, they're coming in as well. The EP lands. Oh my god.
Before any plague can really get thrown out. Well, I say that, but it was another defiler, and another plague does land right in the heart of this army. Medevac's doing whatever they can to try to keep everything alive. Ghosts are surprisingly tanky. But yeah, that's a lot of damage. It only takes one more hit to take out these ghosts. But one more hit, it's not gonna land. The Hellbats, absolute MVPs.
Mate, that was one plague. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. The ghosts, they're barely alive. They have to get the hell out of here. Oh no, the links! Oh god.
Reconnecting. This time, snipes will land, and we'll keep these at bay. Super important once again to have these Hellbats here to act as buffer. Those Hydras could not get on top of those 1 HP ghosts.
They barely did survive. There was only one ghost has gone down this game. So Clutch moves out of HonMonO. He gets the hell out of there. He defends against the Drop Lords. More turrets being thrown down as Drop Lords are going to be a threat to HonMonO. Bearing in mind, unlike in SC2, Nidostorms do require creep. That is also why we went for the proxy hatchery to spread some creep across the map to allow for the Nidostorm. Without that, I mean, there's no threat of Nidus play.
None whatsoever. And so yeah, once again, 3-point kind of has to go back to the drawing board. Is that a kill?
Yeah, he killed his enemy.
Well
Look, HonMonO, he was sending a message to his boys. Okay, he's like, "Mate, I don't tolerate anything less than perfection. Okay, we got this. We can bounce back. We make a series out of this." Oh god.
Yeah. So you're slightly dented. Start over.
Yes.
Get it right this time.
Get it right. Like, sir, that was 400 minerals. I don't care. It's going out of your paycheck, mate. Oh no. That poor SCV. Yeah.
Already lost its additional health. Now it's losing its pay as well.
Exactly. As HonMonO, he has finally rejuvenated those ghosts. Moving forward, massive nuke here on the army. Here come the legs. The MP.
Yeah, do we have vision? Do we have vision? Do we have vision? Do we have vision? We do have vision right at the end there. A couple of plagues do land, but not on the ghosts, which are really the money unit here for HonMonO. Doesn't have too many ghosts still, unfortunately. So, yeah, even still, he's forced to retreat. The nuke did not land, so 3-point. Gonna be able to get this hatch up and running.
Yeah, barely did shut down. The nuke was able to deny it. The expansion is going to be denied as well. The CC is going to fall. We do have the army coming in. As you mentioned, most of the ghosts did survive, and they will punish some of these Hydras, but not without losing the expansion.
Like so. HonMonO once again beaten back to 3 bases. Could have been 4, but you know, he had to. One of them had to be delayed a little bit.
True. Was delayed. HonMonO, he can double expand behind this, and again, he's expanding towards his opponent. He's giving his opponent less time to breathe here, and nukes can be a big factor coming into this kind of game state. Likewise, I just love the dynamic of the defilers and the drop lords. It's very similar to in TVP where you have the storm drops, but here we have the plague drops instead.
True. I mean, I know storms are a thing in Brute War, but are they really? They're not quite the same as the SC2 storms.
I mean, they're better. I mean, mate, the effect of the storm.
The effect is a lot better.
Yeah.
it also lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And overall, I think it actually does more damage over time, but
it looks like it does more damage at least because it looks very impressive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
but it does less per second, I think. More overall, but less EPS.
As we do have the nuke here towards the south. Once again, going to be forcing back the army. There is no unburrowing of these sunken colonies. We do see the army trying to get in position, but the nuke is going to land.
Yeah, the SimCity actually working against 3-point soul favor there for a sec. Huge ensnare, but the queens do get sniped, and not enough of a follow-up here. If that was an ensnare and a plague, that would have been disastrous, but man, choke point kind of preventing the army of 3-point from getting on top of this.
Oh, the snipe! Oh my god! The plague!
Absolutely brutal. No plague going to be available here, and with that, I think HonMonO just rolls.
He snipes everything. He just snipes every single unit. Oh my god. The Zerg army completely melts before the mass goes, and HonMonO, he does it. He breaks on through. He breaks the main army. No spellcasters remaining. Nuclear on the army as well. And HonMonO, I think he's done it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way. It's 114 army supply, and that's an army supply in Ghosts and Hellbats versus 35 and nothing but Hydras.
Exactly.
HonMonO, man. All it took was one false move from 3-point, and he pounced.
And unfortunately, he had all his eggs in one basket, all his Defilers in one Dropper Lord. One Dropper Lord was all it took. He did go down with that. Well, 0 plagues remaining.
You say he had them all in one Dropper Lord. Honestly, I think there were enough snipes to take out every single Dropper Lord.
You're not wrong. Snipes that kill. He sniped everything. You're not wrong. As here come the Liberators, a brutal choke point as well. The Hydra's forced to engage. We do have another couple of Defilers behind this. They are trying to set up. They're gathering energy as we speak. Oh no, he consumes himself. No. Kill the Defiler.
Defiler on Defiler violence. You hate to see it.
3 points go for getting a little bit flustered here.
I feel like if a Defiler devours another Defiler, it should count as double. Or you should get like extra something. If not energy, then at least power.
What? Yeah.
Mineral line goes down to the nuke.
Yeah, nuke does well for the mineral line. What if a Defiler eats another Decipher, it adds the energy onto its own, right? It builds it up.
It grows another segment.
There you go. Gets a second energy bar. As we do have HonMonO slowly gaining ground. As you mentioned, there is potential with one big plague on the army, but there's just so many ghosts.
So many ghosts. We do have 3 Defilers. Do we get the snipes? Not quite on a Dropper Lord, so a plague does land. I don't think it's enough though. There's just way too much shared.
It doesn't even matter. The plague does do a lot of damage, but the army has broken through. Another nuke here on top of the main force. Snipe's going to be going off. Big cloak as well. Where's the detection? GG gets called, and HonMonO fights back, putting a point on the board.
GG. Very nicely done here from HonMonO. HonMonO, you're just paying attention from last game. That was, looking at chat. Hyper1 in the chat saying, when you're facing Defilers, you got to have some ghosts out. HonMonO, he saw that, and he thought, what if instead of some ghosts, I get all the ghosts?
Yeah. There you go. I mean, again, a lot of it came down to the map as well. Remember, HonMonO, he rushed into Ghost. He rushed into Ghost production early on, and he was almost purely Ghost towards the end there. And because of the map itself, he was able to focus on kind of one attack path, right? Like the center and the northern attack paths were fully walled off, so he didn't have to worry about any kind of drop play, any kind of run bys. Drop play was a threat, but he had a ring of turrets as well, so the drops were shut down, and he could focus entirely on the one lane, on the one attack path.
Yeah, it's like ARAM. Yeah, just kind of forcing things over there. It was 3-point on the other hand was trying to spread himself out, which you are supposed to do technically as a Zerg player, but Monty Hall specifically, and for that strategy, worked much better in HonMonO's favor.
Yeah, and I mean, 3-point, he was trying to be cheeky himself. If you remember, he was also rushing into Hive Tech, rushing into Defilers, rushing into Queens, but he was trying to be cheeky early on with some Nidus play, and it wasn't really too effective, if you remember, with the proxy hatchery, like proxy hatchery into Nidus. That was shut down. The lurkers didn't really gain too much ground, and in the end, HonMonO did snowball out of control, and now we have a series.
Indeed, we do. Oh boy, and here we have it for the very first time in this series. Over in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have our blue StarCraft 2 Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Hyper 1. We have 3-point. Jimmy Ribbit.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. Fighting back, can he tie up the series and force the ace match? The pressure is on. It is HonMonO.
for the first time, we're gonna be playing Brute War Terror. Oh, fencing in that worker.
Yeah, he does lock him inside the house here, and with that, he's going to be able to hunt down the drone. Initially, it looks like we should be seeing a 3-Rax opener. 3-Rax opener is a very commonplace here in Brood War Terran versus SE2 Zerg, getting into Stim, getting into the range upgrade, and getting into Bio. Namek?
Well, you know, with Bio, you do get lockdown ghosts, so.
True. Yeah, not wrong, as we do have the Academy on the way. As a reminder, you do need the Academy to research all of those upgrades, so Bio is being embraced here by HonMonO.
It's wild to me that the Tech Lab is only for units in Brute War.
Yeah, I mean, technically there is no, it's the machine shop, right? Machine shop. I mean, so add-ons, they do exist. They're just a little bit different in Brood War. As the drone does go down, there is that 3rd Rax that we did mention. So again, 3-Rax openers in this matchup are not too uncommon. But what I will say is that 3-point is in the dark. He's not fully aware of how many Raxes there are. There could be just a 2-Rax opener into an expand. There could be a 3. There could be just even more commitment here. So 3-point is still in the dark, as that is a 4th. It's a 1-base all-in.
Here we
oh my
go.
God.
5th Rax on the way as
Jesus.
well. Show me the boys, HonMonO.
He most likely will pull the boys with this, not gonna lie. So
He's gotta.
yeah, he's going into 5 Raxes. So 5 Rax, 1 base all in, rushing into Stim. Bearing in mind that this is the big feature and the big addition of Brood War is that you do not need add-ons here to get into, you don't need a starport to get into supportive units. Medic production this early on, it means that this Stim timing is going to hit even harder, as now, I mean, there's a way to heal up the units.
Yeah, even harder, even quicker, even faster, even stronger.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but yeah.
Works it.
Exactly. So this 1 base all in does hit differently than it would in SC2, as the medics are going to be revealed. Stim is revealed as well. I mean, we already knew this because of the Academy. Overlord does go down, and the 1 base all in is upon us. Meanwhile, we do see 3-point taking it very seriously. He's staying on 2 bases. 3-point, he does not take a 3rd. He's staying on 2 bases. Roach Warren gets thrown down. Spine callers are on the way. 3-point, he knows that aggression is coming his way, and he's preparing on 2 bases. It's time.
Be very safe. The boys! Yeah, I love to see it. I was gonna say, you know, Roaches, they're a little bit more reliable compared to Banelings. You know, they aren't quite as potent, but you can keep them back and you can save them for later. Throwing some SCVs here to really mess up the pathing and to buffer for these Marines, that complicates things a little bit, though.
It does, as here we go, the army does push forward. Stims are going to be available here. The Queens are building up this 1 transfuse so far. It does Stim, he's going for the spine. Oh.
Yeah, transfuse is fine, but now we're out of transfuse energy. Roach is starting to go down thanks to these boys delivering an excellent buffer.
Yeah, there we go.
That's gotta be it.
Yeah, he started his 4 touchdown every single one. Massive fly block as 3-point cannot make a single unit here. He has 6 Roaches in production. But for the most part, it looks like 3-point he has been broken. The 6 Roaches, they will help out, but there's just so many Marines.
Now, yeah, we just Stim to win.
Yeah, exactly. Just Stim to win here. More boys are being pulled. The Roaches, they trickle out. But again, just nothing else can be made here. We do, actually, because all the drones went down, you can actually make some more Roaches. But we're running out of steam, running out of Roach production. Back at home, HonMonO, he does have some mining going on. And he has broken the back of a 3-point.
Yeah, he loses his entire mineral line, but he also kills 3-point's entire mineral line. So,
true.
Yeah, HonMonO coming out slightly better here, which is all he needs to take the victory. Eventually, these Marines are going to get cleaned up, but 0 workers. 0 workers. 0 mining whatsoever here for 3-point. All he has is his 3 Roaches.
Yep.
And they got their work cut out for them across the map.
Yeah, it's one of those things where HonMonO, he only has 5 SCVs, but that's just better than his opponent, which means he can produce Marines, he can produce an army, and as long as he can make a couple of Marines back at home, as long as he can kill these 3 Roaches, I mean, he's going to take this game.
Yeah, for those who are unaware, 5 is a larger number than 0.
True. That's math.
Math. And we have to wall.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, if you just saw HonMonO, he just canceled a Marine. He canceled a Marine just so he can fully wall off because time is on his side. GG gets called and HonMonO ties up the series. We're going to the ace match.
Here we go. You love to see it. Never put HonMonO. Never force HonMonO to play Brute War. Because he'll make you regret it.
Yeah, he'll all in the hell out of you. Let us go. GG, well played. We're going all the way to that ace match. And how will this story end? What I was going to say is the all-in was hitting. And again, unfortunately, 3-point he was underprepared. Only one spine crawler. Did not take it seriously enough. But a shout out to the sound effect of the Marine shooting. Because that's definitely...
Oh, yeah.
It hits home. Do miss it. Yeah. The bass on the shots, mate.
Yeah, the bass, it sounds like there's some... I mean, not reverb. Reverb's not the right word. Oh, okay. I like this. Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, we're going to end it with a... We'll see if both of them can be winners, because the final test is to play us in 2v2. But... no, not quite. Not quite, apparently.
Not like this. Not like this. As we are getting into the final game of the series.
Or we can do HonMonO and I versus 3-point and you.
Oh, okay.
For the ace match.
Now we're getting into the final map.
Smelly Terrans versus Kobe Zerg.
There you go, there you go. We're getting into the final map here of the show match of the best of 5. It is, of course, a 4-player spawn map.
It is the second best map in the SC Evo map pool. We're going to be loading into Troy, over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right. We, of course, have our blue
oh my god.
Third player once again coming out from Atlanta, Korea, representing Hyper 1 and about to be scouted. We have 3-point.
He's about to be proxy Shurax, mate. That's what's about to happen. Is spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the South Korean Terran player fanning out 4 Marines to proxy in the center of the map. A big gamble here out of our Korean Terran. It is HonMonO. Wow,
Big gamble, but it's gonna pay off. I mean, he scouted the top left, so he was able to confirm that it's not there.
Yeah, he knows.
Now he just needs to know if it's bottom or top.
Yeah, exactly. So because he knows it's either bottom or top on the right-hand side, he can proxy in the middle and just gamble, right? He just roll the dice. He's about to rescout here on the top right-hand corner, and now he knows through the power of deduction where exactly 3-point is.
Oh, is that how it's supposed to go?
Yeah.
But he did scout bottom left. No, but he has vision bottom left. Okay.
He does. He does. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. The Overlord does miss the proxy. We have another Overlord here on the right-hand side. It's going to be here over the natural ramp. There is a ramp to work with. That is true. So far, it is going to be a standard opener out of 3-point, but he is unaware as to what's going on. I do appreciate as well the HonMonO is keeping the SCVs a little bit further back, waiting, building up his army before committing up the ramp into the natural. There it is.
Yeah. Just one SCV. Looks like it can be a scout, but then we throw it on the bunker, and here come the Marines.
Yeah, the Marines have arrived hunting down the Overlord. More SCVs have arrived as well. We can see the boys being pulled. He's going to try and deny the bunker. No, actually going for the Marines, going for both.
I'm going to be able to deny the bunker for now. A couple Marines starting to rock up. Spine Crawler now on the way. It's a very delicate dance that 3-point has to play.
Yeah, very delicate indeed. The bunker is going to be denied. Likewise, so is the Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler getting quite low here, but at last 3-point, he cannot get... Sorry, HonMonO cannot get surrounded. The bunker is cancelled.
Oh. And we'll get the refund. The Lings are going to pop down, though. And yeah, that's a pretty big ball of Marines. Spine Crawler getting dangerously low. It will get killed. And there's only one queen to work with.
Yeah, only one queen left. The Lings have gone down. The 3-point is in trouble. He's going to be going down. The queen falls. And there it is!
GG! HonMonO will take that series in a complete reverse sweep. GG, nicely done. Dirty Terran does it once again. Dirty, honorable Terran will take the victory. GG.
GG, well played. HonMonO, he takes it 3-1. He cheeses the hell out of 3 points. Again, HonMonO, he was able to deny and kill the spine crawler, get on top of the queen. And with that, HonMonO did snowball out of control. 3-point looking impressive in the more standard games. But as you mentioned, HonMonO, he is a dirty Terran player, willing to cheese it up at a moment's notice. And he does cheese the hell out of 3-point 2 games in a row.
That he does. And I'm worried now. Because now that he's won, I don't think he's gonna want to shower. He's like, this is working for me. Yeah.
It's the source of his power, but I don't blame him. I don't blame him whatsoever. Definitely as. Again, GG, well played. Congratulations to HonMonO. He will claim the initial series. And shout out to 3-point as well, though, because we had some amazing matches, a lot of fun. I mean, again, I always do appreciate the interaction with the spellcasters, with the queens, with the ensnare, with the plague, with the plague drops, I should say. A lot of back and forth, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. In those standard games, I think 3-point absolutely shined. Even in game number 2, where things were looking pretty even for a while, or even HonMonO favorite for a while. 3-point, you give him a little bit more time, you give him a little bit more time to think and to formulate a plan. He will just outthink you and just outdo you in SC Evo. You can see why he was one of the heavy favorites to win the Champions League last month. But HonMonO clocked onto that very, very quickly and was just able to cheese the hell out of him. 2 games in a row. The game before that was also a little bit unorthodox, not gonna lie, but yeah, we wouldn't really call that one cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Just making use of Monty Hall, if you will. So, GG, well played. Shout out to all our competitors here tonight, and congratulations to HonMonO. He does win the first best of 5, but now we are getting into and getting ready for our next matchups here. We have 2 more best of 5s ahead of us.
Yeah, we're just getting started. That was just our first one. And our next one, well, I guess it depends on if they're awake yet, but I think they should be. Our next one should be an EU PvZ grudge match, a drama-filled match that, you know, if we held this event maybe a couple of days earlier, it would be even juicier. But yeah, maybe not as much now. I'm of course talking about Iba versus Forjumi, the divorce settlement match.
Exactly.
We'll see who gets what.
Who gets the kids?
Yeah, who gets the 4 in Forjumi?
Oh no, let's find out. We're going to be going on a break, as Yaku was alluding to. When we come back, we're going to have that best of 5 show match, the EU show match between Jumi and Iba.
And I said PvZ. I'm not sure if it's going to be PvZ. We don't know. It depends how they're feeling.
Exactly. We're about to find out here. So, again, take this time, get some snacks, get some food, get some water, get ready here for a night of StarCraft to come. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here with our next match.
Yeah, we'll see you then. Also, give me time to relog.